Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Nike, Soviet Global Command 6.3. All right, marching along. Something I forgot to mention on previous videos, or the previous video, was NATO's use of battlefield nukes put the fallout up to 3. Okay, so we start off with tech. Our Soviet Global does have still damage on the minor ports in eastern Iran, but again, they have chosen not to repair that. So here we go with tech. They are going to try computers, yet again, chemical, Top Gun, and Advanced Airborne Doctrine. Okay, they finally hit computers, and they move Top Gun. The other two are misses. So computers goes to stage 2. Top Gun, Top Gun was the other one, goes to stage 3. Now I have to make a quick note in my notes because that advancement of computers gives the Soviets a little more wartime bonus. Okay, now we're on to military aid and purchase. And now that Soviet Global is at war, they can do whatever military aid they wish to do. So this time around, they're going to spend 5 on a Yak-38 for FEC. They're going to give Warsaw Pact 2 artillery. And then for themselves, they're buying 2 Marines, 2 Airbornes, and an attack helicopter. And that brings us to combat movement. And there is going to be quite a bit. This is going to be a little bit of a long turn. So let me go in order of the way I have it written down so I'm not forgetting stuff. And I'm going to use some of my target markers to put out on the map to also try to help my memory. So our first combat movement is going to be into Afghanistan. The SPAG and the 2 mechs from Turkmenistan are going to come down and attack. And they are going to be supported in their attack by the fighter up here in Volgograd. I'm not sure if you can see him, but he's here. So he's going 1, 2, 3 in there to join the attack. Okay, next up, we shift over here a bit, and the Soviets are going to attack Anatolia. They're going to send in everything from Southern Caucasia That artillery will shoot battlefield nukes. And then also, this attack bomber in eastern Ukraine is going to go 1, 2, 3. In there to magnetic flight stand stuck to my steel tweezers. He's going to get in there. And that attack bomber is also going to shoot battlefield nukes. They're not taking any chances. All right, next up, the Soviet fleet here in M11 is going to come down and attack the NATO fleet in M10. The attack chopper. Let's see, the attack chopper. The attack chopper has to stay there, but there is an attack chopper on the heavy aircraft cruiser, so it can attack the NATO diesel boat. Okay, so let's get a target marker in that zone. Grab a couple more target markers here because I'm going to need them. Okay, next step. Back up just a touch. In I-4, this SSN is going to attack the NATO tanker. And of course the ASW chopper will get to defend, and he will actually it's a, since he's doing an attack, it's an auto kill, and the NATO ASW chopper has a chance to defend. Okay, now go like this. This Soviet SSN in I-1 is going to go 1, 2, 3 over here to I-10, where it is going to shoot a cruise missile at the major air base on Diego Garcia. Okay, next, over this way, the Soviet SSN in A-39 is coming down to auto kill the NATO tanker in A-42. Then shift up here. The SSGN in A-31 is going to move to A-30 and shoot 3 P-700 granites at the U.S. ships in A-24. Didn't think about it at the time. Those ships weren't built in port. They probably should have been, but they weren't. Okay, then next, we go like this. The SSGN in A-15 is going to shoot 3 P-700s at the destroyer and the amphib in A-3. Yeah, I think we'll leave it like that. Then next, grab a few more of these things. Okay, next, we'll come over like this, I guess. Oh, I get something in the air this morning making me cough. Okay, first step. Over here in A9 in port, there is an SSN. It's coming out of port and it's going to move over here to A8 to do battle with this NATO diesel boat. This is a screening force attack. Then the rest of the fleet there, he actually should have been on land. The rest of the fleet in port in A9 minus this amphib that is going to remain in port. He's moving 1, 2 spaces over here to A7 to do battle with this NATO fleet. So we'll move that fleet marker over there. And the Soviets are picking up some additional ASW choppers on their Moscow class ASW carrier to go over and join the fight against that NATO diesel boat. Also coming into this attack, we are going to have backfire Tu-22M from Murmansk. It's going to fly 1-2 over here to A8, where it is going to shoot a pair of KH-22s into A7. He will be escorted by a naval ASF from Murmansk. So he comes over there. And that's going to be it for that attack. So there's an attack marker, a target marker in A7. Next, let me go check my notes real quick. Good thing I checked my notes. Also, coming over as part of this attack, we've got 3 ASFs here in Baltic states. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3. There's no NATO AAA in Svealand to stop them. 4, 5 into A7. So these guys are over here to join this attack. Okay. Next, I believe that's it for sea combat. Next, in southern Finland, 2 Marines from Murmansk are going to move 1 into there to attack. Oh, I forgot another one. There is a fighter on the amphib in A13 that is coming over here for the A7 attack. Okay, so now 2 Marines from Murmansk invade southern Finland. They're going to be joined by the attack chopper from Leningrad. And they're also going to be supported by the attack bomber from Murmansk. The attack bomber in this case will not use battlefield nukes. Alright, and then I think what is the final battle here in Nordland. We've got 2 airborne here in Moscow, so they're going to go 1, 2, 3 into Nordland for an unopposed invasion. Oh, wait. They're also going to be joined in their combat movement by the attack chopper from Murmansk. I think that's all the attacks. Let's move back over here real quick and check the notes. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, so now we need to start doing attacks. So we're going to try to do them in the order they were laid out in. So first up will be the battle here in Afghanistan. You see what we've got there. So the SPAG goes to the retirement box. Let's to roll the fighter first off and see what happens. Okay, there's a 5. That's a hit. Go on and do the 2 mechs just because. They both missed because mountain terrain, but they did get their hit. So the light infantry for the Americans defends, and he misses with a 12. And pollen is starting to fly around in the air, and I think that's what's making me cough. So the American infantry comes off. Soviet roundel goes on. And real quick, I should have had it out, but I didn't. Real quick so I don't forget. Find the right box. Must be in this one here. Here we go. Dropped it on the floor. There we go. Soviet possession of Afghanistan makes a defense treaty between Pakistan and U.S. Global. Okay, next. There was no money changed hands there. So next we come over here and we have the fight in Anatolia. Yeah, Anatolia is next. So, yeah, I'm not going to move everything to the battle board. So we'll have an artillery BFN first strike, and we will have rocket artillery first strike, and then the SPAG will get their for NATO will get their defense. So first up, we have battlefield nukes from the artillery. Okay, there's one hit. One first strike hit. And then we have rocket artillery barrage, which in previous turn I did this wrong. I forgot we had revised rocket artillery down to 3 dice at 2 instead of 4. So 2 rocket artilleries for a total of 6 dice. There's one hit. So that's 2 first strike hits for the Soviets. Now the NATO SPAG gets 2 defensive shots, and they score 1 hit. 1 air superiority hit. That's first strike. So we got to do 2 first strike hits for the Soviets. That's going to be the SPAG and 1 mechanized infantry. And then there is an air superiority, air defense, first strike hit for NATO in defense. So that's going to be the attack chopper. And now we go on. Now the Soviet SPAG is in the retirement box, so he can't be a casualty. So just to see how quickly we can wrap this up, we'll do the attack bomber with battlefield nukes. Ah, they all missed, believe it or not. Okay, so then we've got that mountain. I think that is not. I think all of Turkey is mountains. Next gen MBT at 5. Okay, there is the hit that was needed. Just because we'll go ahead and do the 4 mechs at 2. They all missed, but the hit was scored. So NATO defends with a mech at 5, and they score 1 hit. So, move stuff. Move camera back over here. Roundel. So the NATO guy comes off. Take a target marker off there while I'm doing. The Soviet roundel goes on. And there we go. That one's not worth any money. Okay, next we have the sea battle here in M10. So that's going to be, there's the Baltic Fleet card here, or Black Sea Fleet card here. So you see what is attacking. There isn't any first strike. So let's do the cruiser first. Okay, there is 1 hit. 1 hit by the cruiser. Now let's do the SSN. There is a 2nd hit. And now let's do the destroyer. Miss. Frigate. Miss. 2 yaks. That may be 2 hits. I'm pretty sure yaks attack at 3. Let me verify that. No, yaks attack at 4. So there's 2 more hits to make a total of 4. There are only there's only 3. Well, if the yaks, well, it doesn't matter. There's still 4 hits, and that kills the ASW chopper too. So there's plenty to wipe NATO out. So now destroyer for NATO defends at 4. That's a miss. Frigate and ASW, no, frigate defends at 2. That's a miss. And ASW chopper is at 3. That is a hit. Verify that just to be sure. I'm tired of having to do corrections. Yeah, they defend at 3. So that's going to be a hit on the Soviet SSN. So let's get our camera back over here. So the destroyer, the frigate, the diesel boat, and the ASW chopper all come off for NATO. And over here, on the Soviet fleet card, their SSN is sunk. Okay, next, down here to I-4. This tanker is an auto kill since there aren't any surface ships to oppose the attack. So that goes on NATO's dashboard. And now the ASW chopper gets a shot. That's an 11 for a miss. Soviet SSN survives to do their evil on another day. And we twist this way for the cruise missile attack on the major air base there at Diego Garcia. Everybody has AMD, so here's 2 AMD shots in defense of the base. There is a 4, so that missile is shot down. No joy. So let's take that attack marker off. Okay, next up, A42 over here. This is an undefended auto kill, so that tanker comes off and goes on the dashboard. Take the target marker off, that's done. Now we're up here to A24. So we have 3 P700s being shot at the ships in A24. And since there's no cruiser there, there's no there's no missile defense. Let's see here real quick. P700s. P700s. Attack at 6. Are they using SpySat to support that attack? Yeah, they probably should. It wasn't announced, but they're using Spy Satellite there to support that attack. So here we go. 3 P700s. And they all 3 missed. And 11 and 2 10s. So no joy off the East Coast. So next, we're going to have the P700 attack into A3. So here we go with that. 3 P700s. There is 1 hit with a 5. The other 2 missed with 11 and 12. Since they already used their SpySat, there's no target select. So, tough decision time. Tough decision time. NATO is going to take the hit on the destroyer. I think it's a little bit cheaper to replace maybe, and those ASW choppers provide more coverage than a single destroyer can. Okay, so next we come up here to the screening force battle here in A8 between the SSN and the NATO diesel boat. And the NATO diesel boat is going to fight to the death. It's not going on silent running. So we have the Soviet SSN will be dark blue. The NATO diesel boat will be light blue. Okay, the Soviet missed, but the NATO boat hit back with a 3 and sank it. So the screening force battle in A8 has failed. Soviet diesel boat comes off. Since the screening force battle has failed, the Soviet fleet has to stop. Actually, does it have to stop or does it have to retreat? I'm going to have to check that because I don't remember for sure. I know they can't go on through to A7 because he's here blocking the way. Okay, I found it. Because the screening force battle here failed, the Soviet fleet could not go on through to A7. They have to retreat back to A9. So none of this air from Baltic states is over here. They all go back to Baltic states. This fighter didn't make it. He's going to do something in non-combat. So there we go. They could not go past A8, so that action is over. Okay, that brings us up to southern Finland and Nordland. So we're over here now. We have the Soviets coming in here to attack southern Finland, which is worth 1 IPP. So it has an inherent light infantry defending it. There's no terrain there, and there is an attack chopper, but the Soviet Marines are not an amphibious assault, so they just go up to 3. There is 1 hit. Attack chopper misses with a 9. Attack bomber not using battlefield nukes misses with an 11, but there was 1 hit, which is what was required. The light infantry defends for Finland and misses with a 7. Back over here. Oh my God. Tried to shoot down the chopper. Okay, so Finland's captured. When southern Finland falls, Lapland automatically surrenders. So there's Finland, which is worth 1 IPP. And then we have the attack over here, the unopposed attack over here on Nordland. So Soviet roundel on there, remove the attack marker, and that's that for combat. Soviets go up 1 to 41 for capturing southern Finland. And while I'm here, before I forget, we had battlefield nukes in Anatolia. And that was it. So, fallout up to 4. Okay, now non-combat. Alright, this diesel boat in A34 is going 1, 2 to A31. This was going to happen anyway, but oh, wait a minute, they could have still shot. Yeah, the backfire can still shoot the two KH-22s in here. That combat can happen. So, and there is a cruiser there and 1 frigate, so there'll be 2 AMD shots. So, 2 AMD shots in defense. Okay, they both miss with a 5 and 11. Okay, KH-22s are KH-22's attack at a 7. Nine and 12. All right, the Soviet missile guidance is definitely having some problems. So now we're going back to non-combat. I'm sure there are going to be some discussions in Murmansk and Moscow about the poor performance. So the KH-22 flies back to Murmansk. This is a naval ASF that is going to fly to the supercarrier that's sitting back there in A9 now. This naval attack bomber that hit southern Finland will go back 1, 2 to also land on the supercarrier in A9. And this fighter that had been on the amphib in A13 is also landing on the supercarrier in A9. That's that. Up just a touch. The SRBM here in Leningrad is using strategic land movement to move over here to Baltic states. And I think that's it. Let me go check the notes real quick. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. That is the end of non-combat movement. So now we will place units. The 2 Marines and the 2 Airborne have to be built at Major Army Base. So these are both going to be in Murmansk. There we go. The attack chopper is being built in Leningrad at that major air base. And that's it for placing units. Now we deliver military aid. The 2 artillery for Warsaw Pact were built at the major army base here in western Ukraine, and through continuous land movement are delivered to West Czechoslovakia. And then the Yak-38, as the expansion I'm playing allows, the Yak can be delivered. Can it? I think it can be delivered directly to a heavy aircraft cruiser. So it goes on right there. And that fleet card, as you know, is down there in P16. Okay, we've delivered military aid. Now it's time to collect some money. Okay, the Soviets are at 41. Plus 2 for, let's see, that plus 2 is for possession of Tehran. Plus 4 more for possession of Shiraz. They get the value of the whole oil field, regardless of whether it's US or NATO, so that's plus 4. And then by reaching stage 2 of computers, they get plus 3 for that. So that's 6, 9 in bonus on to 41. He's going to make 50. There we are. 50 for the Soviets. Now, let's see, missiles. They shot 2 KH-22s, which takes them down to 2, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Wait a minute. Is it just majors? I gotta look again because the rule's not the same across the board for missile production. Okay, it is just major shipyards. So we've got 1, 2, 3 major shipyards for Soviet Global. So we shot 2 of these, we built 3, so that's going to be a net gain of 1. And then over here on the P700 side, we shot 6 and built 3, so that's going to be a net loss of 3. Which means there's 8 there, yeah. Wait a minute. We shot 6, a net loss of 3. So we take 3 off that leaves 2. So I need a green and a gray. We'll make it right. There was 8 and there was 8 and now there's 5. Didn't shoot any ASMs. Add 3 more to that. And cruise missiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major army bases. So there's our major air bases, I mean. So there's +7 to the cruise missile inventory. No, that ain't right. We shot one of those. We just shot one, correct? Yeah. We shot one of those. So there's now is the correct number of cruise missiles. And that's going to do it. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.